Well, of course, by now, you should be aware of the fact that Marxism is taking over South America. What does that mean for us? Not good! And then I have all these preachers. I'm in these chat threads, right? Barry, it really bothers me, I got to tell you. They're talking about totally irrelevant stuff, even like little annoying things going on in the United States. Over here, a school system, a court case of this. We are missing, like, oh my gosh, the freight train is coming right down the main boulevard. South America just flipped communist. China, One Belt, One Road, is working with the communist leadership right now. I mentioned Chile and Hungary and Colombia, now Brazil. What's going to happen? Poor little Guatemala. All my Christian friends in Guatemala. Central America and South America is going to be under siege. They're going to have double-digit inflation. Look, this is prophetic convergence. Nobody does this stuff like we do. We tell you where the sharks are, and when the devil's coming through, we predict it with 100% accuracy. Well, maybe 98%. Going to be double-digit inflation. It's going to go spread just like Argentina all the way through the corruption. Corruption always pays a big price. People pay for it. You're paying for it in the United States. Double-digit inflation. There's going to be coups. There's going to now be rivalries. It's almost like political gangs are going to be taking over. Voter suppression, lawlessness, corruption in the courts, which is going to suppress the people. I also predict the evangelical church and the pro-life Catholics were the backbone of Bolsonaro's populist movement. I believe by pushing them back into a corner, open Satanism and witchcraft, of course, on Halloween of all the times to have an election. Out on the streets, blood sacrifices. I've got friends with boots on the ground that were sending me the videos of what's going on out there in the open practice of pagan occult rituals tied into the Marxist regime that is trying to take power any way they can. I predict that the churches, the apostolic churches, are ahead of the United States. We've got a few bold apostolic leaders like Che Ahn. I think Jack Hibbs wouldn't call himself that because he's evangelical, but he is. And I think we've got a couple of voices that are out there that are willing to mobilize the saints. Evangelist Clay Clark doesn't call himself an evangelist. These guys are doing fivefold functions. But I'm telling you something right now. The church in Brazil is going to rise up, and you're going to see an apostolic pushback because now you're going to see anointed leadership doesn't respect spheres and mountains. When an apostle rises up with an anointing to shift the atmosphere and corruption comes in, it's going to impact the political sphere just as surely as the apostles were brought before the Sanhedrin and before the Pharisees in Jerusalem. By what name and by what authority are you doing this? They went ahead and did what they had to do, and they won the crowd. Like Maximus was told in the movie Gladiator, win the crowd and you win your freedom. We're going to see a populist conversion of multitudes. Then the army's going to expand. The army of the enlightened, and they're going to move out the darkness with a great revival. That's my prediction for Brazil.
Oh boy, subscribe right now.